Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome to the recap of the Los Angeles Chargers versus the New York Jets game. I'm joined by my brother, Jack. For those
What
of you
is
guys that
good?
did tune into my stream, a lot of you guys were pounding the table for Jack to come into the stream. And the reason he did not come is because we wanted to record a reaction video like this one. So Jack will be joining in to talk about this crazy roller coaster of a game for the New York Jets. And they end up losing 34-28, I believe. The Jets are officially 0-10 on the season. Justin Herbert has a career game against the New York Jets. And so I'm just going to start off by talking about my thoughts of the game real quick. So the first 5 minutes was awesome as Jets fans. I mean, it was phenomenal. We block a punt. We get a stop on defense. We block a punt. We get the ball. And then 4 straight runs. And the last run is to Makai Beckton for the touchdown. Makai Beckton was bullying people. And we were up 6-0. Sam Ficken missed a point after. And then on the defensive side of things, Marcus May forces a fumble. We get the ball. We're like, wow, this Jets team has life. And then the first pass attempt of Joe Flacco's day is a pick 6. Ever since then, it all went downhill. Some positives I'll mention before we get into the deep of the game. Denzel Mims finally got targets at the end of the game. He looked phenomenal. Excellent catches, contested on the sidelines, looks like a beast. Makai Beckton, there's a little scary moment of him on the sideline, but luckily he came back out there and was healthy for the rest of the game. Michael Pirine did suffer an ankle injury, so we do not know the severity of it. Bryce Hall in his second career game, I think looked really good. I think he has a lot of potential. We're going to get into that. So, Jack, overall, what's your take on this game? There's a lot to talk about, but what's the one thing that stood out to you?
Listen, man, this game was an interesting one. Like you said, it was a roller coaster for sure. It really was a roller coaster of emotions watching it as a Jets fan. Because, like you said, the first 5 minutes we were looking good. But the whole time you're thinking to yourself, do we want to see a win? Do we not want to see a win? What do we even want? Like, we want to see the guys look good, but we don't necessarily want to see a win. It's crazy watching the game now, sitting at 0-10, double-digit losses. But, it sucks that Sam Darnold wasn't able to be the one out there making stuff happen today. But we did get a Perriman touchdown. We got a Herndon touchdown. All of a sudden, Chris Herndon is like alive out of nowhere, and like we actually got to say his name in a positive way instead of in a negative way. And we got a Pirine touchdown as well. So today had its goods and bads. It shows us that we have some promising talent on this team. We just need to continue to. Well, not continue. We need to start building around the young talent on this team in the right way. And I think that we could be all right in the future. I'm just a game like this makes me one sad that realizing that Sam's time is truly probably coming to an end as a New York Jet, but also thinking about like what if it was Trevor Lawrence out there throwing to Denzel Mims, who I forgot to mention, who all of a sudden looks like he could be a wide receiver 1 for the Jets, and that's what we were all hoping. But he looks like that type of guy that could go up and get it, that type of guy who you can throw a 50-50 ball and feel comfortable. You see Mims one-on-one, you throw that ball and see what happens. He looks like super talented on the perimeter of the field, making some nice toe tap catches, staying in bounds. Looks like he has phenomenal hands and just like a great body type. So super excited to see what like a real quarterback, hopefully Trevor Lawrence, can do throw into a guy like Denzel Mims, So there were some positive takeaways from today's
Yeah,
game
for
for sure.
sure. I feel like throughout the end of the game, it started trending in the right direction in terms of positive things because Makai Beckton, when he went back out there, it was a huge sigh of relief for me because if Makai did not finish the game and he had another injury, that would have been a bad situation because,
Sure.
like we always mentioned, the one problem with Makai is his durability. And then Denzel Mims finally getting his targets in the fourth quarter. Like we mentioned, he looked like an absolute stud. We saw that Brashad Perriman 50-yard bomb. I love Brashad Perriman. I think that he needs to be a New York Jet next year on a cheap
Yeah.
one-year deal. I think
Yeah.
his only problem is his injuries. I think that he has a big play potential written all over him, and he's a flyer, and you saw that. It was really frustrating for the Jets offense in the first half because they did not target wide receivers at all. They were just getting the ball to Ty Johnson all the time, giving Frank Gore the ball way too much, and it was getting me really frustrated, the offense. It was terrible. The play calling in general was just really incompetent as usual. Adam Gase is just another example of why he needs to go, and the defense cannot slow down Justin Herbert. This young secondary got torched from Justin Herbert. But let's go into Bryce Hall. I think that, he had some flashes of great plays, flashes of, rookie mistakes with some penalties, getting beat.
Yeah.
But his presence out there, he looks like a big-bodied cornerback that can be on Keenan Allen. I mean, he was on Mike Williams and Keenan Allen the entire game. Those are big-body, really good receivers in the NFL, and he's a fifth-round rookie going out there. So welcome to the NFL, Bryce Hall. He made some really great plays. So what was your takeaway on Bryce Hall today?
Listen, man, he held his own. That's how I would describe it. He held his own. He doesn't have a lot of experience, obviously. We saw what, like, let's say Lamar Jackson was getting exposed by Keenan Allen out there, So like you said, he had some flashes of great play, some mistakes, but overall he held his own. And I think that, out of the group of young guys, because we have a super young, super inexperienced secondary, as all of us Jets fans know. But to me, he looks like by far, it looks like the most promising one out of those guys. We waived Zasir, although he was doing nothing for us anyway. But, our secondary right now is like, out there to get exposed, it seems like. So
yeah, we are going to have to do a lot.
Yeah. So if we could continue to see some development from Bryce Hall, then I'm all for it, man. Like I said, I just want to see. We're 0-10. I can't believe it. We have no wins and double-digit losses, bro. So you know what? Any young guy out there that wants to step up and show that he wants to play in this league, play for the Jets, and play well, I'm down for it. So you know what? Like you just said, welcome to the NFL, Bryce Hall. I'm here for it. Let's see what he's got,
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Chris Herndon finally showed up. He had 2 phenomenal grabs, one of them as a touchdown, and it's so good for Chris Herndon. I feel bad for him just in terms of, where he's at mentally. You can only imagine how much he's in his head, because he's not playing good football. And you can only imagine today, right now, he's smiling. He has a grin on his face. He has a boosted confidence. And I love Chris Herndon. Every Jets fan wants to watch Chris Herndon succeed, but he's been so bad all year, so we're just marking him as a bust. I still see potential in Chris Herndon. I feel like if he gets the right coach, he has all the traits to be a good tight end in this league. And you saw the body frame, that touchdown he went up and grabbed at the high point. That other reception he had was phenomenal. He did have a drop, though. We can't forget about that. So Chris Herndon, I'm happy that I can finally say your name. It's good to see you finally make some type of playmaking ability for the New York Jets offense. Makai Beckton had a really solid game. Definitely not his best game of the year. He had 1 penalty, a false start. He was dominating in the run game. I'm pretty sure he did not give up a sack. He looked like he held up his own. He got injured. I don't even know what the injury was. I don't know why he was sidelined, but he was sidelined. He came back in, which is a good sign. And George Fant went down with an ankle injury. LaMichael Pirine went down with an ankle injury. And I'm pretty sure that's really it for the injury side of things. For the Jets defense, the defensive line, I love what I'm seeing from Foldy Fatukasi. That's a man that I think is a man to stay. I feel like we need to start talking about him more. I feel like he is replacing Snacks perfectly. I feel like that is his comparison for me. He is a nose tackle that stuffs the run. He's a big body that just is there, is a menace in the run game. And I love Foldy Fatukasi. And I feel like Quinnen Williams was there. He didn't really have the best game of his career, but he was there, disrupting some plays. Jonathan Franken-Myers made some plays. Bryce Huff, Langy was there, but overall the Jets defense just didn't have a solid game today. They got torched from the rookie Justin Herbert. He had a career game against us.
I mean, let me just read off what Herbert.
I think it all comes down to not getting to the quarterback. We gave Herbert way too much time.
Well, yeah, I mean, Herbert was 37 for 49 with 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Joe Flacco, 15 for 30, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Good for my fantasy team. I got Herbert.
So, I mean, yeah, it's great for your fantasy team. It's good if you're a Chargers fan. It's good if you're a Herbert fantasy owner. But, once again, week after week, we see that even on the defensive side as well, Greg Williams has to get fired right after Adam Gase gets fired,
Yeah, and the roughing the passing penalties is just
it's terrible. It's
Greg Williams written all over it.
It's egregious. Exactly. It's got Greg Williams written all over it, man. That everybody knows that's his style. And he's got to go as well, because week after week now, we thought that, okay, at least we can rely on the Jets defense maybe being in the top half of the league, at least like a top 15 defense this year. Not asking for too much, but just keep us in the top half of the league in terms of defense, and maybe we could win some games and stay in some games. Obviously this was, a couple months ago, But now look at 10 weeks later, 10 losses later, the defense is a total liability. I mean, we got Joe Douglas, and I see the vision. I trust in the vision. But as of right now, it looks like every promising player on our team eventually becomes a draft pick down the line, or maybe not even at all in terms of Le'Veon Bell, So on defense, we just got holes all over the place. And I love that you bring up Foley, because we do got to start talking about it more, because he does stuff the run up the middle. And he does have that snacks type presence, like you said, just like the big run stuffer who could dominate in the A gaps, Like
Love that.
That kind of guy. Yeah, me too, man.
We just need that edge rusher.
And you combine that with Quinnen as well on the interior. And we just got bodies rotating in on the defensive line consistently. And, I think if you could pick out one strong suit of the current New York Jets, even though there's probably none, it would be that defensive line,
Yeah,
So,
the interior D line.
If we can get like wouldn't have I don't know, like look at like a Todd Bowles, who's all of a sudden should have never been a head coach, and unfortunately got his try with a crap organization like the New York Jets. But now his defense is playing really well in Tampa Bay, and if we could, I thought it was going to be Greg Williams, but clearly it's not going to be Greg Williams, man. Like Gase has got to go. Dowell Loggins, I don't know who you are, like what you're doing here. Like you're an Adam Gase guy, like you got to go with your buddy Adam Gase. But clean house, man. Clean house. It sucks to say this 3 years after we cleaned house. We thought once we drafted Sam, all right, later Todd Bowles, later Jeremy Bates, later everybody, like new coaching staff completely. We were all hyped about Greg Williams. How hyped were we about Greg Williams, man?
And he showed up, and he proved it to be a good hire.
Yeah,
last year.
And then I understand injuries, and I mentioned during the halftime thing today about CJ Mosley. Jets fans would like to say that maybe CJ would have made a difference this year, but probably not. So there's just nothing out there. The defense totally shit the bed this year, and I feel like our defense is like almost as bad as our offense.
Yeah, it's pretty disgraceful. That's the reason why we're 0-10. That does it for this video, mine and Jack's reaction to the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned tomorrow night. We will be going live on my channel at 7 o'clock doing the Monday Night Sports Talk. We got a special guest and Matt O'Leary joining Ali and Jack and me. So make sure you stay tuned. Again, if you guys are interested in my other YouTube channels I created, New York Knicks Media, go check that out down below in the description. And Jack, always a pleasure to have you on, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Of course. And we'll stay tuned for more Jets content. Subscribe if you're not already. And let's go Jets. We're 0-10, baby. Stay tuned.
0-10, baby. The road to 0-16. Peace.
Peace out, everybody. Have a great night.